Today on Talk Stoop, we're learning life lessons from successful stars. Hey guys, I'm Nessa and welcome to Talk Stoop. My first guest, Thomas Hayden Church, just wrapped up his second season on HBO's Divorce. Thomas stopped by to share what he's learned from his character and his co-star, Sarah Jessica Parker. I saw that you used to be a radio DJ, and I forgot who it was. I think it was your professor or teacher who gave you the nickname Thunder Whisperer.
Thunder Whisperer, yeah. That was my English teacher my junior year in high school.
That's the best.
And she recommended that I go interview. And I showed up, I went, it was a terrible interview, you're 17 years old. But they hired a woman, equal opportunity employers back in the day.
I like this.
And then she found out she was pregnant, and like a month later and quit. So they called me and so
Thunder Whisperer came in.
Yeah, the Thunder
awesome.
Whisperer.
Love Divorce, season 2 on HBO. Congratulations on season 2.
Thank you.
Would you and your wife like to join us for the presentation?
We're divorced. How do you have a Tesla?
It's my friend woman's.
You mean girlfriend?
Yes.
How's it been working with Sarah Jessica Parker?
Oh, it's great. She and I worked together a number of years ago on a picture, and we just really hit it off. We made each other laugh and had nothing in common, which was even funnier.
I was gonna say, that is...
No, I'm not a footwear designer, and she's not a rancher. But actually, one of the first things she did do, she complimented another iteration of these boots, which are snake boots.
These boots are amazing.
Well, she's been begging me to get her a pair, which I know she would never wear, because I don't think she would ever go anywhere near a snake-infested area. But no, she's terrific.
And from my understanding, you were her first pick. She wanted you to play her partner.
You know, I don't know if that's an urban legend or an HBO legend, but we talked, and she said, you know, would you at least read it, and then let's, you know, maybe if you're interested. So I did, and we did, and that was 3 years ago. So.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
so season 2 of Divorce, you guys are officially divorced now.
Yes.
Does it bring different emotions out of you in your personal life when you have to play in this role of, oh, I just got divorced?
I've never been divorced, but I've certainly had it around me my whole life.
Right.
And, you know, my mother was divorced when I was very young. And so it's every now and then it kind of has a bit of a gloomy effect, but it's also the whole cliche of a new beginning, and which is really what this season is hopefully about.
Do you ever wonder, what if we met each other now?
New Francis met new Robert.
Yeah.
I think we'd have a lot of laughs, mostly at the expense of old Francis.
Why I love the show is because even if you haven't been married, it still applies to you if you've had your heart broken, if you went through a breakup. But have you ever been cheated on in real life?
Oh, gosh. You know, I think there's been infidelities along the way on both sides. I wasn't such a great boyfriend.
At least you admit
in my 20s, you know. So those things, and it stings.
And I think it's nice to see guys get their hearts broken. I know that sounds really bad because it's always, the guy is cheating, but this was nice. It was nice to see it.
You're shedding a whole new light on it for me, Nessa. I do. I feel kind of revitalized.
I feel like
by being cheated on.
Yes. But I think for so many of us, we enjoy, seeing you be vulnerable.
You're not the victim.
Yeah.
You're not the obvious victim. And I
feel bad watching Robert. I'm like, oh my God, why? He's sad.
Good. Thank you.
Okay, so give us your best tip if you're trying to rebound from a divorce. How do you bounce back? How do you, rebound with that perfect person?
A lot of sex with strangers. Maybe not complete strangers, because then you would go to prison. Yeah. But, people that are amenable to it, I would say. That's the best medicine.
Was it hard for you to shave your mustache? Was it like, I don't feel like doing this?
Well, when I shaved it, it was fake. On camera, it was a fake mustache. Right when we finished shooting, I was so sick of it. This is finishing the first season. I was so sick of it. I got wrapped. It was the last day, and I went around almost to every. Okay, I am for sure wrapped. I am for sure wrapped. I am for sure. Right? Everybody's even like the prop master. I'm wrapped, right? And when I was guaranteed I was wrapped by everybody, I literally went straight home and shaved it off. And I think I even cut my hair.
Oh my.
That night. I think I cut my hair too. I was so sick of the way Robert looked.
I was gonna say, how long does it take to grow out?
It takes, this one's probably about 2 months old. I got some neck hair going.
The neck hair.
My daughters are like, what's that? What is that? That's messy.
Do they like it or do they hate it?
And my daughter goes, she goes, Pop, she goes, you have beard here, but you don't have any beard here.
Oh.
She goes, you're growing a bad beard. And I'm like, okay.
Actually, you're right.
13-year-old's criticism of, of the manscaping.
Up next, former hockey vet Sean Avery talks love, life, and fashion. Be right back. Former hockey star Sean Avery was always making headlines for being sort of a bad boy. He's learned a lot since his rebel days on the ice, and now he's sharing his story in Ice Capades, a memoir of fast living and tough hockey. Sean Avery hanging out with us right now. So wait, we're talking about pucks hitting our faces.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, it feels like a baseball bat?
You know, because the puck comes from a direction that you don't know. You have no idea where it's coming from. It's coming 100 miles an hour. And sometimes, I mean, I've got hit here and here pretty bad. The top one, I remember I had to stick my tongue through basically to stop the bleeding, I had to put my tongue through my lip or my face, whatever. It's not pretty.
Well, so why don't they just make the helmets bigger? Is that a stupid question? You can tell me, it's fine. But like, why don't they just extend it?
Because we want everybody to see how pretty our faces are.
Oh. Okay, so let's talk about your memoir because you let it all out, Ice Capades. Okay, so what are we gonna read in it?
Athletes write memoirs when they're done playing generally, and I think that they write books that traditionally have been a book that they didn't really say too much because you have this mentality when you're playing that you're never allowed to say what you really want to say. That's just the rule in sports.
Right.
I generally wasn't that type of guy when I played.
And here they go. Avery fell over for Dirt. Sean Avery, power play goal.
You know, what's so interesting is that I guess, you know, you would cause a scene and people knew you for that. And here I am talking to you and I'm like, I don't see it. Like, how did that, what?
Yeah, I mean, I think the beautiful thing about sports that we're given this jersey and all of a sudden we're allowed to do things that you're not allowed to do in your regular life. Well, one, in hockey, you're allowed to fight.
Yeah.
You're allowed to fight your coworker if
crazy.
you want.
Yeah.
And then we hug each other and go have lunch after. It was the ultimate fantasy of like, I get to go to work and be as bad as I want to be.
Right.
Which
it worked.
Yeah.
And you also open up about your personal life, girlfriends and that experience.
Yeah.
How did that, I guess, shape you?
I always had this feeling like I want to have somebody in my life that's more successful and more interesting than me.
Yeah.
That was always something that I wasn't afraid of. So the girlfriend relationship stories are all in there. Obviously, it's a happy ending with my wife, Hillary, who I met 5 years ago. And she
Congratulations, that's awesome. How did you know your wife was the one? Every girl wants to know this, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
But what was it that you were just like, yep,
I think
I'm gonna marry her?
When Hillary walked into a bar I owned in Tribeca, I literally nudged my friend and said, I'm gonna marry that girl.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, and I know you hear that before, people say that, but I think it was a moment where I just kind of looked at her and thought that there was an energy that took over. So I just kind of went for it, and then she played hard to get for a little bit. And
nice. Is that something that women should do with
yeah,
guys?
of course, yeah.
See, pay attention.
Yeah.
We're learning gems right now. This is great.
But listen, I wasn't always a gentleman.
But that's why we have the memoir.
Yes.
So the people that you talk about in it, from players to coaches to ex-girlfriends, have they contacted you and asked you, hey, hello, I'm here?
No, I mean, I think that I was always very honest about my feeling and what has happened in my life with relationships. Generally, coaches I didn't really like.
Yeah.
I don't think there was ever a big secret.
Right.
It's the same as an athlete interview, when they get interviewed after
Yeah.
a game and they say the same thing.
Yeah, it's great. We're gonna do more.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna do more.
Yeah, we're gonna really get them tomorrow, and you know, that's not the reality of like sports.
What did you make of the amount of attention that was paid to that as somebody who never shies away from attention?
Well, like I've told you guys before, I read Vogue and not the sports pages.
So how did you get into the fashion world?
During the off season, while I was playing for the Rangers, I interned at Vogue, and I actually wrote Anna Wintour a letter asking if I could intern at the magazine, and was agreed that I could, and I showed up at the old building, 4 Times Square, ready to just kind of dive right in.
Did you actually have to do intern stuff like get coffee and?
Yeah. There's people that I think still today will say, I remember I saw you on the subway, you were soaking wet in sweat, and I was carrying garment bags to like downtown to a Stephen Klein photo shoot.
That's so cool.
Then I would walk on set and somebody would recognize me and they didn't really understand why I was there. There was a lot of funny stories.
This is so awesome. I cannot wait to read your memoir. It just sounds so juicy.
Right.
Coming up on Talk Stoop, Real Housewife and music star Erika Girardi.
Accommodations for Talk Stoop are furnished by 135 West 52nd. These exclusive private condominiums feature 1 to 4 bedroom residences, duplexes, and triplex penthouses. Luxurious finishes and amenities await in this 12,000 square foot private lounge, ideal for relaxing and entertaining alike. Recharge in the 75-foot-long custom mosaic tiled pool. This is elevated living at its finest. Available for immediate occupancy. To learn more, visit 135west52nd.com.
Welcome back to Talk Stoop. Whether it's Erika Girardi or her alter ego, Erika Jane, no matter who shows up, we love her. Now, the no-nonsense fashion queen on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is giving fans an intimate look at her life in her first ever memoir, Pretty Mess. Before we start this off, I don't know how you do it this early in the morning. Are you kidding?
So do you. You look beautiful as well.
I did not wake up like this.
I didn't either. I have a whole team of people here that made sure I kind of got it all together.
And you look amazing.
Thank you,
Erika
sweetheart.
Girardi, you're hanging out with us. So I was stalking your Twitter and Instagram. And
Okay.
you seem very down to earth the way you are now, which is like the best feeling ever, because you never know what you're going to come across.
You don't know. Okay, well, I come from humble beginnings, so why not be nice?
Yes. Do you feel a lot of times people might not understand that because they do see you on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and they're seeing a superstar? You have songs that are #1 on the charts, and you've been doing this for a long time, and they might not know that other side.
You know, it's great to see the finished product, but it's kind of like making sausage. You know, it tastes good, but you don't want to know what's in it. And I think that that's kind of like your job too. You know, they see you here looking beautiful. It's cold, but people see this and they see the finished product. That's okay. But it is a job, it is hard, and you have to stay on it, and you have to be disciplined. And I think that's the one thing people don't realize is the self-discipline that comes with a job like ours.
Yes. When someone watches Real Housewives and they see you, what do you feel they take away about who you are?
Well, I don't know what they take away, but I know what I would like for them to take away. I would like for them to laugh. I would like for them to have fun. And I would like for them to realize that, you know, even though I have all this stuff going on around me, at the end of the day, I came from Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm a normal person like everybody else.
Yeah.
It's on steroids. It's just on steroids, yeah.
And I mean, you've took advantage of the opportunities.
Yes, I took advantage of what was in front of me, but I worked my ass off.
Yep.
You know, and it has to be a combination. It's no one taps you on the shoulder and says, "Oh, honey, you know, we've been waiting for you." You know,
At all.
It's the marriage of the two. You know, you have to be willing to take what you have and then make it work.
What is the hardest part about always being on cameras?
When you sign your name on that paper and you go, "Okay, I'm going to be part of this show," you got to roll with the punches.
Pretending that it's full amnesia right now is confusing.
No,
to
excuse
me.
me, don't ever say I'm pretending, because I'm not pretending. I'm telling you the truth. I don't remember saying that. Don't ever say that to me again. Don't. Don't ever, ever do that to me.
Let's talk about the memoir. I am excited about this because we already see so much of your life.
Right.
I'm just very curious, what we're gonna read.
You think you see a lot
Right.
of my life. In the memoir, I talk about where I come from. I talk about my father, my stepfather, my relationship with my mother. It's a more in-depth account. And then it's, it's from the horse's mouth. I talk about living here, and I talk about being a mom, and what's it like to be an artist, what's it like to reinvent yourself at 35. And I think that's the one thing I would like for people to take away from the book is that if you go back to dance class, if you go back to school, if you go back to doing something that you love, is that it's, we, women, are valuable at all times of our lives. It's not your 20s are your best years. My God. Lord help me, I was a disaster. I'd hate to think that was it.
Pretty mess. It's
Pretty
okay.
mess.
It's
Pretty
okay.
mess. It's okay.
It's all right.
And you'll survive, I promise.
Is there one chapter in it that you're just like, that's my baby, and I want everyone to focus on it?
That's a really good question. There have been a few chapters, especially when I talk about my mom and things like that, that I've been particularly careful about. I don't want to trash anybody, but I did want to tell the truth.
And also being a mom, do you feel that you understand her more, where you're just like, okay.
1,000,000,000%.
Really? I always hear this.
I've often said, I'm critical of my mother and the way she treated me, but I understand why. She was treating me the way the world was treating her. She was in a place where her dreams and her aspirations were limited. And I understand her anger and her frustration, now more than ever.
When you see women coming out and empowering themselves, for you who believes in women empowerment, how does that make you feel?
I think it's great. I think it's time that we support one another instead of tear each other down.
I agree.
Or we're never going to advance.
Yep.
We have to support each other. We have to cheer each other on.
I think that's so important. And, for young women who watch you and they look up to you, and when they hear that, I think there's a sense of, hey, you know what? I don't have to be too hard on myself.
No.
It's okay.
It's okay. I didn't say it was going to be easy, but I did say it was going to happen. Nothing is easy.
Watching Expensive, and you were doing the splits.
Yeah.
Girl.
You can do them.
Girl. I was like, how?
Yeah, I'm from the South, baby.
Why do I love this?
Well, because, it is what it is. We can get you doing splits. I can get you there.
Don't say that.
I can.
Can you really?
I think so.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It requires discipline, but we'll get you there.
Well, Erika, I absolutely adore your energy. It's so nice to come across people who are authentic, genuine, and love what they do, and taking all the criticism like a champ.
You got to take it on the chin, baby. No glass chins. You got to take it on the chin. You got to roll.
Of course. Well, I appreciate you hanging out, and I can't wait to read everything that we don't get to see or hear about
on
you.
TV. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks again.
We're not done yet. Deepak Chopra is up next to help you create your own path to healing. Welcome back. My next guest, Deepak Chopra, is giving one of the most important life lessons we all need to hear right now. How to understand the relationship between mind, body, and soul, and how to get and stay healthy. I could feel the energy being great in here. Thank you, Deepak Chopra, for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Now, I quote you all the time. I'm one of those people who post it on Instagram.
Oh, really?
So this is really crazy that you're here now.
Thank you. It's a privilege.
And you have this book, The Healing Self, which basically talks about how you can heal yourself and you don't have to seek other people to help you get to that point, which is pretty amazing because a lot of times we don't realize the power that we have within ourselves.
The two key words here, first is healing, the second is self.
Right.
So the word healing is related to the word whole, body, mind, spirit, relationships, environment, and the world. That's wholeness.
Right.
So healing is a return to the memory of who you really are, which is wholeness. And the word self means the awareness and consciousness in which your mind, your body, and the world are a constantly shifting experience.
Wow, that's deep.
It's simple.
It's simple but deep.
They call me Deepak.
So this is crazy because when you think of lifestyle choices, is it everything from just eating something that can affect how you think, how you feel?
That's right. So just going back to eating, you have 2 million genes in your gut and your skin.
Wow.
Which are bacterial genes. So you have only 23,000 genes that you got from your parents. Right. 2 million genes that are bacteria. And these bacterial genes send messages to your human genes. I'm feeling good, I'm not feeling good, I'm in distress, etc. If your food contains hormones and antibiotics, anything that's manufactured, refined, has too much sugar, is processed, then the bacterial genes get inflamed and your body gets inflamed.
You make it seem so easy, but it's hard to change certain routines that we've had for such a long time. And especially when it comes to healing self, what would you say is the beginning point to start your journey to become, you know, better and to hopefully reach the highest potential that you can?
So in the last part of the book, there's a 7-day plan where you do only one thing at a time. So the first day is Sunday, it's about diet, or Monday. And the next day, it's about how you manage stress. The third day is an anti-aging program, which you don't need, but many people my age do. The fourth day is about rest and activity and resetting your biological rhythms. The fifth day handles core beliefs. The sixth day handles how to live in the moment. No regrets, no anticipation, no resistance, just this moment as it is. And the final day is, which is for me the most important, is about spiritual evolution. How do you move from being reactive to intuitive, creative, visionary, get in touch with that which is sacred in all of us?
When someone listens to you, it's easy to assume, oh, you have it figured out. But there was a point in your life that you weren't where you are now. How did you get to this point? Because for most of us, we are reactionary. We are dealing with stress. But do you remember that moment where you're just, okay, I'm gonna make this change because I don't want to be that person anymore?
I was smoking cigarettes. I was.
You were smoking cigarettes?
I don't believe as an intern, yes. That, you know, on weekends I'd get sloshed, as they say, on Fridays. And then I was trying to help my patients. So I couldn't help myself. That's when the shift occurred.
So how can you tell someone, hey, it's okay to relax and enjoy the moment and allow yourself to actually heal itself? Because that's hard. That takes patience.
So you have to first realize that the only time you have is now. What happened to a second ago? It's gone.
Right.
What happened to this morning? It's gone.
Right.
What happened to your childhood? It's gone. Now is all there is. The rest is a dream already. The most important person in your life is now. The most important thing you can do to create a better future is by being mindful now.
Thank you so much for stopping by.
Nessa. Thank you.
Healing self, take charge of your life and lifestyle choices, because ultimately that's what it's about. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nessa. Thank you.
And there you have it. Celebrities do more than just entertain us. They can also teach us valuable life lessons. And I hope you learned a lesson or two. And if you want to see these interviews again, make sure you check it out right now on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just search Talk Stoop, all right? Or you could always go to TalkStoopTV.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.